step back. I think if you have the biggest man in Monterey say to the biggest man, another big man, you might potentially have more animosity than we expect.
It's possible.
You know, I think we're the generation of really respecting women, and I think to keep things even would be my thought, to have 2 sergeant at arms.
Thank you.
Thank you, Diane.
Good idea.
Thank you.
I wrote that down.
At the same time,
Yes. Yes.
Anyone else?
I'd like to say,
Yes, at the podium,
At the
please.
podium,
Thank you.
please. We got people online.
I got a big enough mouth.
Yeah,
No,
but they need to
please.
see you
They can't
online.
see you.
They don't know me too.
we want to see, see you on camera.
I've been here for 20 some odd years
I'm
or
sorry,
over
what's your
20
name and condo
20
no?
some odd years. A lot of years.
Can you
What's
give
your
your name and your
My
unit
name
number?
is Mary Ann Martin, 9D.
There you go.
The pain in the neck that's always complaining about something, right? It's not that, I've seen a change in people. I don't know what it is. And when people get old, I had an incident myself, a neighbor. Never said anything wrong to her or anything, and all of a sudden she took me by surprise and said, oh, you're too busy to do this and you're too busy to do that. She was hurt because I was so running out, and I'm one of 6 girls that started out here. And we loved it, absolutely loved it. But she just, and I met her today. Oh, Mary Ann, how have you been? You know, she doesn't know what she's doing sometimes. You know, the seniors, they do have a forgetting thing. I haven't reached that age yet. But, you know, I can understand it. You know, I can now, because the woman she is a sweet person. And I can't say I dislike anybody. I get along with everybody. And look at yourself inside and see. You know, I don't know how, there are some people that are argumentative naturally. I don't know what it is, I don't know where that came from. The Irish don't do that. Unless they're at a beer place. But this is a place where everybody should be enjoying themselves. A time when you should be enjoying yourselves, you know? How long have we known each other? I mean,
Long time.
Jesus. I
We're on the
just,
4th quarter here.
yeah,
We should all be trying to work to enjoy the best we can.
yes, yes.
Don't know what tomorrow
And
is
if
gonna be.
somebody has hurt you for one time, don't let that stop you of talking to the person and saying, you know, good morning, how you doing today, you know. You don't have to get into general conversation, but that might bring them out of their thing. And that's all I have to say, but I hate to see all people fighting. I hate to see. You're all great people, and it's just breaks my heart. Yeah. That's
Thank
what
you.
that's all
Thank
I
you,
have
Mary
to
Ann.
say.
Thank you. Okay, anything else? Anyone else?
Okay.
Okay, moving on, the proxy vote discussion. Okay, so as far as proxy votes, I had a couple people come up to me and come up to some other board members and thought it was unusual that we suspended the meeting and went back for more proxy votes. Actually, every year it's been done. it's been done since way back. I remember watching meetings, and I know that managers are very careful with it because their licenses are on the line, so they would never allow anything like this to happen. But every meeting except for the meeting, what year was it? A couple of years ago or a year ago? When Pam was president. At that meeting, we adjourned. So because we had adjourned the annual meeting, we didn't go back and get the proxy votes. Now, the reason that we go back and get the proxy votes is because we're on the line as far as how many votes. It's like almost there on the line, and it's permissible by law, and it's been argued in arbitration, and the associations going for the greater votes have won in arbitration. We went and spoke to the attorney, and the attorney sent us the opinion that it was permissible. Am I right? Yeah, and he said that in arbitration it would win. So the last meeting we suspended, we were almost at whatever our number was.
Yep,
The
256.
the 256ers, and with proxies, you can go back and get those extra votes. So we didn't steal anything. We didn't do anything that was illegal. We went back and got them. And I remember being here in previous years, back when I wasn't really living here yet, but I would come here on vacations, and at that time, my brother-in-law was on the board too. And I remember Chris at the annual meetings. I remember them suspending the meeting and then going back and reconvening the meeting and having the extra few votes that they needed. Usually it was to use the reserves in case of an emergency. So, and anybody from the board want to say anything about this?
And the way we do this is we go back and we go back through the rolls, because remember, your proxy vote is not secret. Okay, if somebody put in a records request, they could see all the proxy votes. We actually, when we checked everyone in and when we counted votes, we said whether you put your ballot in and whether you put your proxy in. We had a clear idea of the people who sometimes they are like, I'm going to be there, so why do I need my proxy vote? Well, you still need that proxy vote, that one sheet of paper that says proxy at the top. You still need to sign that. You still need to vote on that. And so we went back to those people that, some of them had put in ballots but hadn't put in their proxy. We also had some people that didn't realize that if they didn't put their ballot in the envelope and sign it, that it didn't count. So, and they showed up on my list as not voting at all. My neighbor, we went in and I went to talk to him, and he was like, well, I voted. Well, what he told me was he only put the ballot envelope into the ballot box, and we had about 8 of those. So your vote didn't count at that point. And I think next year what we're going to do is, before we start voting, we're going to have in one of these workshops a quick synopsis on how to vote and the importance of your vote and the importance of following what is on that sheet of paper to a T. You need to sign it. I also had some people that had signed the designated voter, and they are not the designated voter. Okay, I had, I wish Judy was here. I think there were 6 of those. So we went back to those types of people and said, hey, you voted, but your vote didn't count because the wrong person signed this. And a lot of those people we have gone back to and got the right person to sign the designated voter. So we're working on getting our rolls better so that we get more votes that count. Also, the electronic voting was a major success, and I hope more people do that next year, which would also help with our proxy votes. My goal is to get to a point where we don't have to go after votes after the amount of time, okay? And it was almost, it was such a landslide for the car heights and for using the reserves until we got our insurance money. We were off by 19 votes on one and 22 votes on the other. It was pretty close, out of 252.
So we would have never gone, we never would have gone and did that if it was like, let's say it was 100 votes off.
I
It
coulda
would be
never gotten 'em.
ridiculous.
Right.
So, I mean, it was right there, and it seems like it happens every year, and part of the problem is, I think, not as many people vote as should vote. There's way more people in this community than, that don't vote. Or it
200
almost seems like it's like
it's half and half.
50-50
It's half and half.
that vote. So,
268 voted, that means 242 didn't. It's a lot of people.
and we weren't, it's not a steal, and it's not illegal, and it would be held up in court, so. Any comments?
The class you talked about having, or the workshop, to go over how to vote, we have to go by what the law says, and the law makes it confusing with, you put this in this envelope, and this in this envelope, and sign this, and dot this, and, you know, don't lick that, and da-da-da-da. It's very confusing. So having a workshop or a meeting to go over in detail, you know, step A and step B and step C, and then put it online.
Yep.
Because not everybody's gonna show up to the meeting.
That's a good idea.
And put it online, so when you get your ballot, if you don't know what steps A, B, and C are, you can go onto the YouTube channel and, you know, and look up, you know, how to vote, and it'll go over all the steps. Because again, the law makes it confusing, so anything we can do to clarify that, I think would help to get the number of votes increased.
And also, you can always,
Thank you,
if
that's a
you're
great idea.
worried or confused, and you can always come up to the office and ask them, okay, which do I put in this envelope? Do I put this way? So you can always come to the office and talk to Danny, and she'll tell you, okay, put this here, put that there like this, you know, seal that up. So you have that option too.
Yep.
Anyone else? Any comments? Questions? Okay, I just wanted to rest everybody, put everybody's mind at ease that we didn't do anything wrong, and that's going after those extra few votes was legal. Okay, if there's no questions, we will move on to Rules Committee, the laundry room, and all the, Kim's
All
gonna
the fun
talk.
stuff.
Yes.
Okay, so the rules meeting met a couple weeks ago, and we discussed mostly the laundry room storage. In November 10th of 2025, after much discussion, a lot of it was by email to the Rules Committee, we made the decision that we were going to not allow any personal storage in the laundry rooms. When I got back after November, when I was here, I got a lot of pushback on that. So a lot of people are like, well, you made a decision, why are you opening it again? I'm opening it again because the community was not happy. Many of the people, some people were. And there are rules. And there are rules. So we had a meeting last couple weeks ago just to discuss laundry room storage. We had a great turnout. In fact, I believe that was one that we had to have out here because we had so many people. So this is the decision that was made, and how it's going to read in the new rules book. So there's going to be 3 changes to the rules book. There will be a rules meeting tomorrow at 1, where we will vote as a rules committee on exactly how this wording goes, and then we will bring it to the April 24th board meeting for approval, and then the new rules book will go out. When those go out, they're available on Vanica, they're available on our website, and Danny has copies in the office. Okay, so in November of 2025, the rules book stated, laundry room storage. No bicycles may be stored in the laundry rooms. A broom and a mop, a cabinet or shelf for storing laundry products, and a shelf or small table for folding laundry are permitted in the laundry room on each floor. Do not interfere with panel boxes, meters, or the water tank on the first floor or the ladder to the roof on the second floor. Okay, this, basically what this stated was no personal storage at all in the laundry room. A lot of people like that. I personally did. We are proposing to put in the 2026 book, items allowed to be stored in laundry rooms, first and second floor. Building Christmas decorations, second floor only. You can have a broom, mop, cabinet, shelf for laundry products, or a table for folding clothes. Golf club storage, second floor only. Golf clubs carts that are actively being used can be stored in the second floor laundry room. Golf clubs carts being stored must have specific identification, name, badge, and unit. Golf clubs carts are to be moved to the occupants' units when not in residence. What we mean by actively is, there's an asterisk and it says actively. Space is limited. Therefore, if clubs are not being used on a regular basis, please store in your unit. Then it says, note, any and all items stored in the laundry rooms are to be 3 feet from the electrical panel and the hot water heater. This is a national law, okay? I'm not making this up. I'm not coming up with the number. It's 3 feet in front of that electrical panel. There is nothing to be stored in front of that, okay? And items must not interfere with access to the ladder to the roof on the second floor. Okay, I don't know how to, so are there any questions, comment, Marianne? You want to, please come up.
Oh, I just want to know if you can have a rod in there to hang your clothes.
Yeah, you know, we're not going to get picky, okay? I mean, if you have a rod to hang your clothes, I mean, I can add that.
And I know some people have those garment racks.
Just
and
not
stuff.
over the water heater.
Right. And no curtain. You cannot have a curtain that hides your hot water. I need to add that.
Yeah.
What happened was we had a leak in a hot water heater and it had a curtain over it. And our guys would go in to get coins or whatever. We never saw it. And that ended up costing the association a lot of money because that water got into someone's unit and we had to redo their floors.
What happened is the water, it was hitting the
It was a stream.
wallboard, and it kept hitting it, and it ended up making a hole in the wallboard behind the water tank, which had the curtain hiding it so it looked pretty in there. But meanwhile, for who knows how long this water was hitting the wallboard, it ended up making the hole, and then it went into another unit and flooded the unit. Went in and ended up ruining their floor and ruining, you know, in their closet, going into their bathroom and bedroom over time. So we can't have, we need to see if there's water leaking back there. And with a shower curtain hiding the water tank, you can't see it.
Any other comments, questions, dreams, desires? Okay, so there will be a rule meeting tomorrow at 1 o'clock, and the Rules Committee is going to vote on this, with Mary Ann's addition, on this to be added to the new rules book, okay? And then it will come to it will come to the board on the 24th. Parking clarifications. As you all know, we passed that your car can be 75 inches tall and 80 inches wide and 220 inches long, max. So, what I found out was that we never added anything about parking permits and all of that in the rules book. So this is my attempt to get all of this documented so that people can go and find it. So, parking clarifications. All vehicles must display a NYC parking permit pass. Parking permits and passes are available in the office. Your main vehicle should have a blue parking permit. Your second vehicle should have a red parking permit. Your renter's vehicle should have a hanging tag. And a guest vehicle should have a guest parking pass displayed on the dash. Okay? That way, every vehicle that is in here overnight should have some form of identification on it. Okay? Your main vehicle, this is the owner's primary vehicle. This vehicle must have a blue parking permit displayed on the left side rear of the vehicle. Your second vehicle, a resident with more than one automobile can apply to management for a red parking permit. These vehicles must be parked in the parking area located farthest away from the main clubhouse on the Palm City Road side at the main clubhouse. I've got main clubhouse in there twice, sorry. Second vehicles are not to be parked in guest spots. Units are limited to 2 vehicles maximum, okay? Guest vehicle, and I will also put in there, if you get approval from your neighbor to park in their parking space when they're not there, you can park your second vehicle there, okay?
I have a question.
As long as it's in writing. Okay, one more, let me go finish this. Guest vehicles must display a paper pass on the dashboard. The pass shall clearly state the dates that the pass is valid. Guests may park in guest spots. If the guest vehicle is not an approved vehicle for MYCC, it must be parked at the clubhouse. Okay? There's also another issue that we've talked about in the Rules Committee, but we have not voted on, and that is the ability for cars in this parking lot to be backed in. I know we don't back them in front of our units. I've heard things like exhaust, clarification, to be able to tow them, so that the back ends of them are out so we could tow them easily, and also to be able to see the parking passes. It's come up in the Rules Committee that by allowing people to back in out here, it makes it easier after an event to get out. Okay, if we allow somebody to back in, we don't have all these cars backing out at the same time and they can just pull through. That will also be discussed at tomorrow's Rules Committee meeting. Sabrina.
Okay, my question was, if you have 2 cars, you have the, what is it, white
Blue and-
sticker?
blue and
Okay,
red.
the blue sticker and the red sticker. Let's say that you have your blue car, you have a married couple, the blue car, the wife's off, or she went to visit a friend for 2-3 days. Can you move the red car and park it
Yes.
in the in your own spot?
Yes.
On those days?
So each of your cars has on the back of your parking permit has a number, okay? And the numbers are, for instance, my number would be 2701. It's because I live in building 27 in the A unit. Jack next door would be 2702. When you get a red sticker, it's supposed to have 2702-02. So if you have your red sticker, basically either of the 2 cars can be parked in that main parking spot, but only one, you can't park one in a guest spot. Okay, so I guess I need to make that clearer on here, on my verbiage, that either or of your main car, your main or your second car can be parked in that spot. If, for instance, like somebody's gone, or let's say you smash one car up and all you have is the one with the red sticker. We're not trying to be unreasonable, we're just trying to make the rules so that when Holly writes a letter, she can enforce it because it's written down. Mary Ann?
Yeah. Do we get a copy of that?
You will get a copy of this when it's approved in the next meeting. Okay, it'll be part of the minutes. And honestly, I'm thinking about starting to send minutes out.
Posted, it should be posted.
Yeah, well, and we can post it right up here.
Yeah, but you need it in your own home.
Yeah, no, I get it.
That'll be in the rules book.
It'll be in the rules
Which people
book.
will get and have in their own home.
Yep. Anything else in regards to parking? Okay. Board members, anything? I think we've been talking about this. New vehicle sizes. So it's come to when we gave the sizes, we didn't fact, there's a car sitting in front of mine where it's like, well, the body fits, I'm not so sure about the tires. So we're gonna, in the rules book, we'll add dimensions of passenger vehicles are not to exceed 75 inches from ground to rooftop, not to exceed 80 inches in width, and not to exceed 220 inches in length. Width does not include mirrors, okay? But width does include the width of the tires and any additional accessories. In fact, it should say width and length. So if you have something on the back of your car and you are now longer than 220 inches, it will not be allowed. Because truthfully, you're sticking out into the, more than likely, you're sticking out into the road. Also, it's not just the body of the car, it's the car with any fender flaps. Some of these cars have extra wide tires on them. Go look in front of building 27 right now. There's a Jeep out there. It's got fender flares and the tires are wider. So if you looked online and said, how wide is this vehicle? It's gonna tell you it's like 70 inches wide. But it grew because of the tires and the accessories attached to it. So we had to have some clarification. Is there any question, board members?
So also, before you go changing, like, sometimes people go and they get souped up tires and,
Makes
you
it
know,
taller.
different things. Make sure you check the rules before you go changing things, because then you're gonna end up with a car that's not permissible. Like, we had a car here before that should have been able to park over here, but they went and got tires that elevated the car, and then they ended up having to park out there while we saw if the rules were gonna, if this rule was gonna pass or not
Right.
in the proxy, so.
And, Paul?
Well, the height and the width, the number of inches for height, width, and length, that's in bylaws.
Yes.
And
Yes.
the rules we're looking at is just to clarify
Yes.
what the
What the
definition
bylaws
of
mean.
width and depth.
Yep.
Okay, so that's what the rules are gonna
Yep.
be changing.
Manny?
No, you can walk.
You can walk.
Walking with the microphone. Manny Rios, 9F. Would that include a small truck about that size?
No trucks.
Still no trucks. The bylaws clearly state no trucks.
That would have to go to a vote by all members, like the.
Like the hype
we
did.
At the last, at the March election.
No motorcycles, no trucks,
No van.
no van. No, you can't have a van.
Joe, you said it could go to a vote.
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
You answered my question.
Yeah,
just like we did with the heights. It would be part of the annual meeting.
we'll talk.
Bring it to the Rules Committee. Because I know someone else has brought that to my attention too. Honestly, I'm not getting a warm fuzzy about being able to pass a truck law. But, we can make it a.
Be warm and fuzzy.
I just don't think there's a lot, I think people just still are anti-trucks for whatever reason, even if they fit in the box. But it can be discussed. Any other comments, questions? Okay, that's all I had. Rules meeting
any
tomorrow at 1
Joan,
o'clock.
did you have a question? Joan Slattery?
Well, it's not a question, but
Can you come up, please?
Don't make her walk. Give her one.
Or give her the mic. If she can't walk, give her the mic, please.
Well, the first thing, we always had Mora meetings the first Monday of the month during the season, where owners and renters would be in the meeting and could ask questions and be knowledgeable about problems that are within the community. That doesn't happen anymore, so everything comes up at the board meetings.
True.
Which, at this point, not everybody is so ready or aware until it's over and done with. But I do have another comment, and I hate to say it, about the rule that when you put something in the committee decides they're gonna go after other voters to make it pass, it seems to me the board wants it more than the people that live here want it. And that's all.
What I'm going to say about that, Joan, is that every year I've been here for a long time, and I remember previous meetings with Chris, when Chris was on the board, they never did and this is an important one, never did the proxy for using reserves to fund in emergency purposes. That almost never passed. But it was always by just a tiny margin. So it was not going after and chasing and looking for new people. It was going after those ones that had an issue, and they would always go and suspend the meeting and go after those people. And it is legal. So
I know you had to go to the lawyer to prove doing what was happening.
I didn't go to the lawyer to
You
approve.
needed to find out that could happen.
Well, I already knew before.
Not arguing.
And Joan, we had out of approximately 290, we had 252 voted for it. So it's not that the board wanted it, it's that the community wanted it.
The majority that voted.
You say so.
And this is done in other communities, and I don't need to lie about this or make something up or force anything. For me and for us, I don't think I cared if the car heights went up at all. And my concern is if there was a hurricane or something and then we couldn't use the reserves. If we couldn't use the reserves, what would happen here is you would probably be waiting a long, long time for repairs to be made. Where if you can use the reserve, then you would be getting things done, and then when the insurance reimburses, you would be replenishing the reserves. So,
About the war meeting, is there any hope of that coming back?
They have
you gotta
more-
ask Maura for that.
They have more meetings.
They've been having more
They
meetings
used
once a
to
month.
be the first Monday of the month, that everybody in the community would know, come to the meeting.
We can ask.
If you have it sporadically, and you have to go on the internet to find out there is a meeting, not everybody is that aware.
Okay. We'll tell Maura about this, but we don't really deal with what Maura does.
God, they have a sign out front by the gate too.
Any other comments?
Open it to anything else?
Any owner comments?
Oh,
I do have one thing that is difficult. It's, when you have your windows, you're a big car, and you blacken all your windows. I can't see out of, see if somebody's coming this way.
right.
Yeah. I beat my horn, I do, but everybody looks this way and that way and then they go. But that's a dangerous thing.
Mm-hmm.
That you cannot see coming out from behind a big car that's got blackened windows all the way to the back. And I'm telling you, if somebody's got a car like that, they should try sitting in a smaller car right next to themselves and say back out
The problem,
and see when a car is coming. And some of the space between the back outs, they're different sizes. The ground is different sizes, Some of them are bigger where you can see and come out and you got room. But there's other ones where you can't, you back
It-
out and you're turning
the-
as you come out.
the issue is anytime you're any smaller than the car next to you, you can't see through the windows, you can't see. And the problem, one of the other issues is it's totally legal in the state of Florida to tint your windows to that what do they call it? Executive tint or limousine tint, which is like a truly dark tint, and we can't dictate that. I'm sorry, we can't.
You can't do that. Okay, so,
There's so many cars with it too.
yes,
Yes.
and it's very dangerous. And if there's kids coming around the corner,
All we can say is slow down. There was a person that was driving down through here the other day. I swear to God, they were doing 60 miles an hour. It's like people need to slow down.
well, I don't know. I've not seen anybody going that.
Well, not that fast. It wasn't that fast, but it was fast.
Yeah, but it's just, it's a very tough thing to do. You're in a all darkened car.
Yep, I agree.
All right. So
Nothing
you
we
take
can-
care of it, and if anything happens, do you guys pay for all the?
We didn't change anything about tinting of windows. Tinting of windows is a state law. I cannot put in my rule book that you can't have tinted windows. I can't.
You can't?
No, because it's a state law. I could clarify the state law, but I can't change the state law.
Well, maybe not change it, but I certainly would clarify it and do it more.
But the clarification would be that you can have up to the darker tint.
And state law usually supersedes our rules.
Marianne, I completely understand where you're coming from, but as a rules committee, we cannot change that.
Okay, I just want you to be very much aware of it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we are aware of it.
Yes. I know myself, I won't almost stop at the last minute.
Yep, I get it. Slow down out there.
Yeah, so people should be careful driving, be mindful and stuff.
That's with a bigger car.
With a bigger car,
A bigger car.
okay. People with bigger cars, please be mindful, and even people with smaller cars.
And they got darker.
Okay. Thank you. Any other comments on anything? Any owner comments about anything?
I want you to be aware of it, and everybody else is aware of it. It's a very dangerous thing.
I agree.
Okay. Thank you, Mary Ann.
Okay.
I have I'm sorry.
When you leave your car here in the winter, but when you're gone, or in the summer when you're gone, what happens if your building is getting worked on? Should the office have keys to be able to move that car?
Yes.
Yes.
You might want to restate
Especially-
that. You might want to restate that question so they hear it online.
Okay, so Bob was asking if you're leaving your car here for the summer and your building is one of the buildings that's going to be getting worked on, should you be giving your keys to the office so that when your building is going to be getting worked on, your car gets moved? The answer is yes.
Okay, but my battery's disconnected, wheels are up on blocks. So what happens there?
Park it up at the clubhouse. Can they
Yeah,
do that?
maybe that's a thing. Can they park up at the clubhouse? So
Yeah.
park it up at the clubhouse.
Good idea.
If you know your building is going to get worked on, you have to have a little foresight to do that,
Yep.
yes.
Or
Yeah.
you know what, there is one, like there was somebody that asked me about leaving their car where it was. Their car, where their parking spot was at their building was, like, here's the building, it ends here, and then their car, you know how some buildings have a spot further over? So I guess if you were in a spot that was further over, then maybe, but you would have to come in and ask if that's a good idea, then you would probably be able to leave your car there.
It could get hit with chips of concrete or something, though.
Yeah, you don't wanna
I
get
wouldn't take the
damaged.
chance.
Just park it at the
You know,
clubhouse.
they do a lot of chipping on these decks when they're
What about
prepping.
parking in the
And,
building?
and
Neighbor's
dust and,
building.
you know,
Neighbor's
I wouldn't want my
Yes.
car
Do that too.
near it, really.
So, and also if somebody gives you a permission, if you have a friend from another building that's gone and they say, yeah, you can park your car over there, they give a letter to the office, they put it in your file, and then you can go park at this other building in their
Somewhere
spot.
nearby, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a couple different options I think that you can do to make sure you're not parked in front of your building when it gets done.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I have an
Oh,
announcement.
Jeanette's got a
Somebody?
question.
I couldn't see her behind the wall.
Go ahead and say what you want
Oh.
to say, and then.
First thing, no bingo tonight. Sorry, it is canceled just for tonight. The other thing is the 2026-27 activities calendar. Maura has completed, and we'll be handing out copies to all the committee chairs. It will also be up on the website and printable, so if you want a copy. Okay? Thank you.
Jeanette Nestler, 14B. On a lighter note, since we're going to have Sergeant at Arms, I would like to see a 25-year-old cute bodybuilder. And I would also, for the men, like to see a real curvy blonde.
There you go, that works.
Gotta make
And
it
I
fair
think
for everyone.
would pay attention.
We're looking into the EMS guys.
Oh, there you go. That would also help with attendance.
That was funny.
I think we're done.
Okay. Any last comments? If this is, if there's no more comments, I'll adjourn the meeting. Going, gone. Meeting adjourned.